Hey there.
Have you ever felt like life is just running in circles?
That no matter how much you want one thing, fate seems determined to hand you something else? Well, today we're going to unlock a secret that the great psychology masters realized ages ago, but that many people still tend to ignore. We're talking straight. The universe couldn't care less about what you say you want. It only answers to what you are. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the idea that your reality is a giant mirror reflecting your inner energy, exactly as Jung explained it. If you're tired of attracting the same old thing and want to give a good kick to that pattern of repetition, stick with me until the very end. Oh, and before we get this show on the road with this transformation, it wouldn't hurt to give the channel some love, right? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now so you don't lose the thread of our next videos. Let's go, because what we have to share is about to rock the foundations of how you see your life. The silent frequency, why wishing doesn't trump being seriously. Have you ever stopped to rack your brain and imagine that maybe the steamroller of situations that keeps on coming back to run you over, people you pull into your life, the stumbling blocks that live repeating, even the setbacks that make you move backward, is much more than pure coincidence? Well now, what if I told you that what lands on your lap has less to do with your wish list and everything to do with the bare, raw essence of who you truly are? That's right! This insight is one of those that make you stop and think, coming from a mastermind like Carl Jung, the magician of the soul. Jot this down because this one is golden. You do not attract what you desire, but what you are. When we first bump into this truth, it's like a punch to the gut. Come on. Of course, everyone is constantly dreaming of good things, a true love, success at work, peace of mind, full pockets. But hey, if all it took was wanting, life would already be a bed of roses for everyone, and it ain't quite like that, is it? Listen to this. The so-called universe, the force of life, the thing called energy, call it what you will, doesn't respond to the speech that leaves your mouth, but rather to the vibration that you release out there. Got it? And that vibration, my friend, springs from the source of your being. You can talk until you're blue in the face, 1,000 times that you want to be a happy person, but if deep down you live stuck in guilt, in overwhelming fear, or in an unending anger, it's that bad vibe that is flying the plane of your life. It's as if your chest is a satellite dish tuned into the world, and what comes back to you is exactly the signal that is coming out of there. So the crux of the matter is not what you want on paper, but who you are being every single day, because that right there calls the shots for the game you set up all around you.
And get this!
The most messed up thing is that so often we ask the universe for something, but we walk in the opposite direction. We ask for a decent partner, but we sabotage ourselves all the time. We want to make life move forward, but we feel like a victim. We ask for some calm, but we keep feeding the fire of conflicts, whether with the neighbor or in your own head. What's going to happen here is precisely this: to truly know what it means to be the change that you're waiting for. Come on and look inside yourself and understand how your baggage, your headaches, your feelings, your root beliefs sets the tone for everything that goes down on the outside. From now on, we are going to sink into this brilliant idea of Jung and peel the onion to discover the path to harmonize what you want with who you really are. And chill, because this isn't some fairy tale talk or something out of this world, no. It's pure and simple self-discovery, taking the reins and making the wheel turn. So get ready to face the mirror with a straight face, because what you are about to find might just shock the way you live your life. The coherent unconscious, where intention becomes embarrassment. Look at that. Life has a funny little way of shoving in our faces who we are, even when we try to hide it, right? It's a sure bet. Everything around you is designed to be an exact reflection of what you carry on your shoulders. Think with me, it's as if the big wide world were a magic mirror that gives back in the form of faces and situations. Everything that we desperately need to see in ourselves. You know, when someone drives you crazy in a way that makes no sense, or when the same trouble follows you so much that it feels like a curse. Watch out, because that's not accidental. Many times, what makes us blow a fuse at others is precisely what we still haven't swallowed in our own shadow. Life is sending you an encrypted message. Hey, there's something in there begging for help. If we catch ourselves trashing someone, judging hard, or holding a nasty grudge against someone, you can bet that a piece of us is stuck in the story, sometimes, It's an old scar, a disguised fear, an insecurity that won't leave. As long as we try to smooth things over and don't acknowledge this snag, life keeps throwing experiences at our door that force us to face the same mirror again and again until the penny drops. It's tough to admit, but listen, no one comes into your life by sheer mistake. The people who surround your fire are disguised teachers, each one with a different assignment. Some make the best in us ignite, others reveal the part that still needs healing. And all of this is growth, even when the going is rough. The truth is this: the outside won't budge as long as the inside stays put. It's useless to want to turn the page if we insist on keeping the same old beliefs, the same emotional drama, the same short-fuse reactions. The world only changes color when we change the lens through which we look at it. It is here that self-knowledge turns into gold dust, because when you start to notice your own reactions, you realize that nothing, neither people nor situation, has the power to knock you off course, except what is misaligned inside you. Mark this: what hurts you in others is the wound that still hasn't healed in you, and that realization is quite a liberation. Because the minute you understand that the other is just a mirror, you stop pointing fingers, you stop fighting back, and you start to turn things around. Instead of running away from the fire of the situation, you ask yourself, what is this mess trying to show me? The mirror of the soul cannot lie. It shows what you truly are, and not what you wish to appear to be. And the more you allow yourself to face that reflection without blinking, the clearer becomes the image of your own essence. It is at that moment that the key turns. Not by trying to fix the world, but by tidying up the house that vibrates inside you. Crossing the shadow. When destiny bears your signature, get this: self-knowledge is the compass that changes the game. It's when you stop burning candles just looking outside and start investigating what is going on in your basement. Most folks spend their whole lives trying to change the setting, but they keep playing the same role. They change jobs like changing clothes, move to new places, swap lovers, but they bring along the same fears, the same mental soap opera, the same way of reacting. And in the end, the result is almost a cliché, only the costumes change. To grasp yourself is to break this vicious cycle. It's realizing that there's no miracle without awakening. You can't plaster over what you don't acknowledge. You can't change what you insist on pretending doesn't exist. When Jung dropped that gem, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call the result fate. He was hitting the nail on the head. The invisible forces that call the shots in our choices. Self-knowledge is the flashlight that shows the face of these forces. It draws the map of why you react that way, why you attract certain kinds of people, why you insist on bumping into the same wall. It makes you understand that the most challenging moments are not punishments, but invitations. Invitations to level up, to grow up, and to put an end to sagas that have followed you for light years. But listen up. It takes guts to look inside, to have the courage to face the pain, to admit the parts that you'd rather sweep under the rug. We were trained to run from pain, but it is it, precisely, that shows the way to healing. Every emotion that you try to smother remains alive in there, shaping the way you see the world. Only when you give yourself the chance to feel, understand, and integrate those parts is when the transformation truly happens. Knowing yourself is not becoming someone new. It's remembering who you are beneath all the layers. It's a process of stripping off the masks, the demands, and the beliefs that put you in a chokehold. It's like cleaning up a dusty mirror. The image was always there, it just needed to be revealed. And the more you recognize yourself, the easier it becomes to know what no longer serves you. You start making choices with more sense, to send away what makes you ill, and to welcome what makes you expand. Life stops being a sequence of stumbles and becomes an intentional art. When you understand who you are, what you feel, and what you believe, you start to attract situations that reflect this new clarity. And it's not because the world outside suddenly changed, but because you started seeing everything with new eyes. Self-knowledge is the magic key that joins what you want with what you really are. IV. The magnet of truth, when being who you are becomes attraction. There is a colossal force that kicks in when you stop trying to be the puppet the world expects and start being simply yourself. Authenticity is a magnet that never fails. When you live in tune with your essence, life starts to arrange itself around you. The right crew shows up, the right doors open, and what used to be a struggle turns into something natural. But look here, being real isn't always a walk in the park. Since childhood, we learn to fit in, to be polite even when we don't want to put on a smile when our heart is broken, to say everything's fine when it isn't. We learn to hide what we feel to gain acceptance. And in this madness of wanting to please, we end up getting lost from who we truly are. It's as if, little by little, we traded our own voice for a soap opera character. And that disconnection comes at a high price, you see. Because when you live behind a facade, trying to look like someone you're not, your energy shatters. You start vibrating with falsity, with tiredness, with unnecessary effort. And life sends the bill, with situations that suck your soul, people who don't understand you, and a sense of emptiness that won't go away. Even when everything looks perfect in the picture, being authentic is the opposite of that. It's living based on truth. It's saying yes when your gut says yes and no when your gut says no. It's allowing yourself to feel without whipping yourself. It's accepting that you don't have to be the greatest, you just have to be whole. When you embrace yourself completely, without wanting to fit into any mold, you change the dial of your frequency. And that frequency is what attracts experiences that look like you. Authenticity is the foundation of trust, and not only that of others, but your own trust in yourself. When you act according to your map, your body, your mind, and your energy join forces. There's no internal fight, no resistance. And it is in this state of fine-tuning that life starts to flow smoothly. People who are real don't push things. They don't chase what they want because what is true is pulled naturally towards them. There is a peace that arrives when you no longer need to prove anything, when who you are speaks louder than any veneer. And the coolest thing is that, when you live in your truth, you inspire others to do the same. Your presence becomes a reminder of freedom, and softly the world starts to give back that truth. Being authentic isn't a trophy, it's a daily practice. It's choosing yourself every single day, even when things get rough. It's having the audacity to be who you are, even if that bothers those who still live by appearances, because in the end, the most powerful energy that you can release is that of truth, and that no one can copy. The strategic surrender, letting go of the oar so the river can carry you. Listen up. One of the biggest puzzles for anyone who is aiming for a new direction is learning to surrender the game. We have an automatic habit of wanting to guess, meddle, force the issue on the result. We want everything to fall into place our way, on our timeline, according to our sacred logic. But hey, life doesn't care about your schedule. And the more we try to hold the reins of everything, the more we move away from the natural way that makes things happen. Control, man. It comes from fear. Fear of losing the thing, fear of being ignored, fear that the plan will fall apart. And that fear makes us cling tooth and nail to what, many times, should have already left. When you live trying to micromanage every little thing, the energy stalls, life becomes a dead weight, too predictable, too boring, and what is light has no room to enter. It's even funny, because what we seek most is to feel safe, but control doesn't bring peace, it brings trouble. It keeps you anxious, trapped in a constant state of vigilance. You don't relax, you don't trust, you don't let go. And the truth is this, nothing new sprouts in that tense place. Creativity, love that catches fire, prosperity that grows, all of this blooms where there is space, where there is surrender. Dropping control is not giving up, it is having faith. Having faith that there's a greater intelligence guiding the carriage, that not everything needs to be explained right now. Sometimes things don't turn out the way you want because there is something better hidden that hasn't shown up yet. The problem is that as long as you insist on holding on to the past, the future has no way to arrive. When you learn to release the rope, you start to realize that life has its own rhythm. And that rhythm is pure wisdom. It takes you exactly to where you need to be, even if the trail looks like a labyrinth in the middle of the journey. Every fall, every detour, every wait has a reason. Control tries to prevent the learning. Detachment gives permission for it to happen. True trust arrives when you accept not knowing, when you understand that not everything needs a spreadsheet, that not everything depends on your effort. It is in that space of surrender that synchronicities multiply, that answers emerge effortlessly. Life becomes lighter when you stop resisting. To want is human, to plan is crucial, but clinging to the result is what traps you. The secret is to act with intention, and then allow life to do its part. It's like planting a seed. You do yours, but you don't keep pulling the plant out to see if it's growing. You trust the process. Detaching from control is an act of faith. Faith in life, faith in yourself, faith that what is yours will find its way to you. And when that happens, peace takes the place of the anxiety headache. You understand that you don't need to chase what is real, because what is real is never lost. The meeting point. Becoming what you seek is the great creation. Living in sync is living in harmony with what you think, feel, and do. It's when your talk matches your walk and your actions reflect what you truly believe. It sounds simple, but that's where many people get tangled, because most ask for one thing, but release a vibration that's completely opposite. They want peace, but they live looking for a fight. They want a better future, but they keep saying that things are bad. They want love, but they close their heart deathly, afraid of getting hurt. This lack of alignment creates a noise of epic proportions inside us, and that noise manifests as confusion, nervousness, doubt, and even blocks in life. When you say one thing, feel another, and act differently, your energy splits, and life returns this division with results that are inconsistent. Coherence, on the other hand, has a massive surge of power. When you align what you think, feel, and do, everything clears up. You stop wasting energy trying to maintain an image and start acting effortlessly with naturalness. Life starts to flow because there's no more conflict between what you want and what you emanate. Think of someone that you admire, someone who instills trust in you. It's very likely that that person is coherent. They speak what they believe and live by it. They are a firm presence, grounded. Coherence has that magical touch of commanding respect and magnetism. It's not what the person says that convinces, it's what they transmit. Being coherent is also taking responsibility for your own life. It's stopping the blame game and starting to look at your own choices. It's realizing that every time that you act against what you feel, you're betraying yourself a little bit. And every time you betray yourself, you weaken your own energy field. Coherence demands that we be truthful, and sometimes that truth hurts because it asks that you let go of what no longer makes sense. It could be a bad habit, a broken relationship, a job that doesn't work, a limiting belief. But when you allow yourself to live in line, what used to be a burden turns into lightness. You stop pushing life and start walking hand in hand with it. Everything good and true sprouts from coherence. Healthy love, lasting prosperity, inner peace. All these states depend on a tuning between what you think, what you feel, and what you do. When these three are on the same path, your energy field expands. And that is what creates the magnetism, that state where things seem to just fall into your lap. Coherence is the sweet spot where desire and being embrace. It's the moment when wanting turns into power, because there is no more friendly fire inside you. The universe understands clarity, and when you vibrate that clarity, life responds in the same tune. The hidden treasure, the essence, waiting for you at home and to wrap up with a golden key. All that stuff that we keep chasing outside is, in truth, a reflection of something that we haven't yet managed to recognize inside ourselves. The hunt for love, for titles, for calm, for recognition. All of this is the soul trying to go back home, trying to remember who it really is. The problem, my friend, is that we spend a long time believing that we'll find these things on a face, in a fat paycheck, in a trophy. And deep down, all of that is just a shimmer. You don't attract love just when someone appears in your life. You attract love when you become love itself, when you learn to treat yourself with kindness, when you set boundaries, when you look at yourself with compassion. It is at that point that the universe understands that you are ready to receive the same energy. The same goes for prosperity. To prosper is not just filling your bank account or having fame. To prosper is to feel abundance. It is knowing that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you deserve it. When that consciousness is installed, the outside simply follows. It's impossible to feel scarcity and live in abundance. Life will always reflect what you believe yourself to be. Becoming what you seek is a silent process. It doesn't happen overnight. It is made of small choices, of simple actions, of ideas that you start to observe and turn inside out. It's a journey of presence where every step makes a difference. There is no finish line because that finish line has always been right here. True change doesn't arrive when you achieve something, but when you change your state of being. When what used to irritate you no longer affects you. When what used to trap you no longer defines you. When you realize that nothing external has the power to mess with who you are inside, it is at that moment that you notice that life starts to respond differently. And it's not because the circumstances bowed down, it's because you transformed. The gaze changes, the vibration changes, and what used to be a hindrance starts to fall into place without having to force it. It's as if the universe applauds and says, "There you go. You are ready to live what you always wanted. You don't attract what you desire, you attract what you are. And being what you seek is the greatest masterstroke that exists. Because in that state you stop asking and start giving. You don't beg for love, you radiate it. You don't chase happiness, you become its very source. Becoming what you seek is freedom. It's the moment when you understand that you already have the knack to live in fullness and that everything else is just the icing on the cake. When you change from the inside out, the whole world changes with you, so that's it. If this talk made your head click and lit up a light bulb in your life, show us. Give us some credit, smashing that like button, so that this message reaches more people who need this turning point.
And of course, don't be a stranger. Join our crew here on the channel so we can continue unraveling the secrets of the mind and life.
I'll see you in the next deep dive. Cheers!